Hi, my name is Charissa Patterson Martinez of Charissa.P.H.R.E.E.E, and I was to share an awesome project that I did recently. So, not too long ago, I asked a few of my friends to help me out with this COVID project. And what that was all about is COVID changed everybody's lives. And a few months ago, we were quarantined. We were all quarantined and we all had to find ways to cope and just a new way of life. And so I asked a few of my friends to share their stories or their on different subject matters regarding COVID. So one of the subject matters that I wanted to touch on was relationships. Whether you are married, your partner, just relationships. How were you coping? Because all of a sudden you were each working and going back and forth, and you have a routine, and then all of a sudden you are in the same household forever, which is great for some. But it was just, I wanted to hear a take outside of my own. Michael and I tend to navigate pretty cool with that, and it could have to do with the fact that we were in the military for a bit, and we're used to having to rely just on each other for long periods of time until we get to know our community. And sometimes we never do, depending on where we land, you know what I'm saying? So it's just us. So the first person that popped to mind on this subject matter was my friend Stacia. She just did. Something about her and what it seems to be with her relationship sparked something in me that said, I'm going to venture out and ask Stacia to speak on this subject. So that's what I did. So the next voice you'll hear will be from my friend Stacia and how she's coping during the COVID and how she coped during the quarantine. A lot has happened since then, and some of us have gone back to work. But this is always, I think, still worthwhile, whether we are quarantined or not. This is good info. So let's hear for Stacia.
Hi, everybody. My name is Stacia Gowans, and my dear friend Charissa asked me to say a few words about this coronavirus situation and living in close quarters with your spouse or significant other. I actually live in sunny Dallas, Texas, as you can see. I promise I'm not just trying to be cool with the glasses, but I can't see. It's so sunny outside, but I think this is such a nice backdrop. I'm happy to share my perspective for whatever it's worth with you all. I think it helps if you like, in addition to love, the person that you're in close quarters with. And I have been married to my best friend for 23, going on 24 years. His name is Ed. And, we have a little flight overhead. We have two college-age children. Chris actually has completed his undergraduate studies in mechanical engineering at Prairie View A&M University. His official graduation is actually this weekend, so very proud of him. And then my daughter, Alexa, is a senior, also attending Prairie View, and she is a sociology major, so she will graduate next year. And then my husband is an IT director, and I work in marketing as a consultant right now for a global dermatology company. And we've both been working from home for, I don't even know, 6-7 weeks now. So I guess there's a couple of tips, and I do have some notes, so I'm just going to glance at them quickly if you see me looking over to the left. But there's kind of 3 general rules, I think, to survive in this environment. And not just survive, but really have your relationship thrive. So the first one is set goals, both individually and collectively. And so there were a few books that I had been in the middle of reading that I wanted to complete. Same with Ed. As well as some health projects. And so we kind of put those on the list and tackled those during the weekends just to keep our hands and hearts busy. But this is work we kind of needed to complete anyway, so that helped. But we set some individual and kind of couple goals at the beginning of this pandemic and our work from home situation. Most recently, we have been working on a book that we decided we wanted to write for a long time together. So we've both been working on the book and then planning for our son's virtual graduation party this weekend. So that's been a lot of fun. The next is spend time together, not working, not on kind of project things, but, find some time to Netflix and chill together. Find some new series that you want to take in, whether they're silly like The Tiger King, which we've watched, or something a little bit more serious like Little Fires Everywhere. That was another one that we kind of got into together. And then most recently this weekend, it was fun. We had a virtual watch party with some of our friends in Indiana, watching the Brian Culbertson concert that was live from Las Vegas. Not really live, but it was a show he obviously had done in the past. But that was a lot of fun because we got to connect with our friends and listen to some great jazz music. And then we have, some family time together, Zooming with our extended family across the country. So that's fun. And that's one way we spend time together. And then the last tip is speak up if something bothers you. Let's face it, even if you really do like each other, spending so much time, whether it's work or play or at home or even going to the grocery store together, calls for the love in your relationship to kick in. And, love is oftentimes not a feeling, it's a choice. Choosing to see the best in each other, choosing to communicate even when you're upset and don't really want to do it, choosing to attack the problem and not attack each other, I think is super duper important. And that's one of the things that we try to do anyway, but we had in place since before this pandemic a weekly meeting for us to just touch base so that if anything has lingered, we've got a regular time that we kind of touch base and really make sure that those things don't have a chance to fester, and that we can resolve them. So anyway, hopefully some of this stuff will help you all as you're thinking about, reopening in some states. Obviously, there are some healthy relationship tips that we should take out of this pandemic, if we didn't bring them in, just to make sure that we do stay close to the ones we love. So anyway, I hope everyone is staying safe as we go through this all together, and know that we're all doing the best that we can. I wish you guys all the best. Take care. Bye.
So my next friend's name is Nora. I love Nora. I've known her for a long time, and she was once my boss. And there's something so special about her in that she just speaks from her heart, and it's honest, and it's usually, in my opinion, spot on, which is why I asked her to speak today. I love hearing her opinion about things. So Nora is going to just talk about COVID and her thoughts. And that, for me, is great because I know she's got some thoughts. So let's let Nora share about what her thoughts are about COVID.
Hey y'all. I don't know how anybody else is feeling about this pandemic and especially some of the recent events with protesters and conspiracy theories about this being like a fake crisis, and marching on the Capitol with guns. But I got a lot of feelings about it, and they go something like this. I get angry, and I feel like bewildered and a little heartbroken that people could think that, all the news outlets and all the other countries of the world and the CDC and the WHO are all in on some conspiracy theory aimed at, making you stay in your house for a while and wear a mask when you go out in public. But really, when it boils down to it, that little wormhole of despair and rage and frustration doesn't wind up being good for me. And I don't know if you've experienced that as well. I find that I don't feel better when I indulge in those emotions, and when I actually look to see the good in what's going on in our communities, and the courage and bravery of the essential workers and frontline healthcare workers, community rallying around small businesses, donating to their neighbors, asking for ways that they can help. Those are the things that actually make me feel better, and participating in those as I'm able, whether it's donating time or money, or sharing information about a business in need or a family in need. Those are the things that help alleviate some of that helplessness, I think, that comes along with watching angry protesters who seemingly don't believe or don't care that they could be putting lives at risk. So it's the doing positive. It's the helping, and it's the reaching out to people, to strangers. That's the way that I'm getting through this. And I don't know about y'all, but it's not easy, but it seems to work. So be well, everyone.